In the future, running is illegal for the rich. Realizing this, the man quickly stopped in his tracks. Clearly, he didn't belong in the wealthy district. He walked into a 5-star hotel and immediately requested the presidential suite. But the clerk didn't take any money. Instead, she scanned his wrist with a device, and the payment was complete. Turns out, years from now, people no longer spend money. They spend time. A cup of coffee costs 4 minutes of your life. A bus ride takes 5 minutes. Every product has a clear time price, and time has become the only currency. But once your time runs out, you die instantly. In the future, people's appearance freezes at age 25. When you reach that age, a countdown timer appears on your arm. If you don't find a way to earn more time, you're destined to die. Of course, time can be earned by working. Will woke up to find he had less than a day left, and today happened to be his mother's 50th birthday. They'd agreed to celebrate when he got home from work. He rushed to the factory and started working to earn more time. Through that day's hard work, Will finally earned enough time to make it to the next day. That evening, he went to a bar to unwind, but unexpectedly ran into time bandits. Everyone bolted in panic, but the bandits had already locked onto their target. The bandit looked closely. This man had 100 years on his clock. He immediately ordered him to transfer his time. The man said sure, he could be robbed, but he needed to use the restroom first. He ran into the bathroom and started throwing up. Just then, Will suddenly appeared and rescued the wealthy man. He and the rich guy ran for their lives and finally managed to shake off the time bandits. Once they were sure it was safe, Will asked the man why he'd come to the ghetto. The wealthy man said he'd lived for over 100 years and was tired of living. Then he revealed a massive secret. Turns out, most of the time is controlled by the rich. They manipulate prices in the poor districts so that most of the time flows into the wealthy zones. In other words, the rich never die. They use the poor's deaths to maintain social stability. Will could hardly believe what he was hearing. The wealthy man asked him what he'd do if he could live 100 years. Will glanced at his arm. He had 19 hours left. He said if he had 100 years, he wouldn't waste a single minute. The wealthy man looked at Will with deep meaning in his eyes. The next day, while Will was still asleep, the man transferred all his time to him, leaving himself only 5 minutes. When Will woke up, he discovered the extra time, but the wealthy man was gone. Will went to the window and saw him sitting on a bridge. His life had entered the final countdown. As the timer hit 0, the wealthy man disappeared completely. By the time Will got there, it was too late. Newly rich with time, Will found his best friend, and without a word, transferred 10 years to him. Then he went to the station to pick up his mother, wanting to surprise her, but she wasn't on the bus. He immediately sensed something was terribly wrong and started running in the opposite direction. His mother had just spent 2 days worth of time paying off a loan, and the bus fare had just gone up to 2 hours. She only had 1 hour and 30 minutes left. With no choice, she had to walk. Just as her time was about to run out, she finally saw Will running toward her. He was so close to transferring time to his mother, but in the end, she couldn't hold on. Will watched his mother die in his arms, his heart filled with hatred. Hatred for the rules the rich had created. He would break this balance in his own way. Will then paid a year's fare and successfully entered the wealthy district he'd never set foot in before.
What are you really doing here?
I'm gonna take them for everything they've got.